They have the biggest testicles relative to body size of any male on the planet.
Hey everyone, Slayer here to introduce Nasty and Friends from BDC Studios, a podcast where two friends who met in the Army Reserves get together and talk about shit. One's a firefighter and the other has a funny laugh. So sit back, get rid of your kids, and hold on to your because it's about to get nasty, friends.
Welcome to Nasty and Friends with Pag Nasty and Spicy Motherfucking Brown.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Nasty and Friends podcast. I'm the co-host, Spicy Brown, and as always, I'm here with my main man, the newly skinny, the handsome, Pag Nasty.
Well, thank you, man. I know, like, from that intro, it might seem like we're sitting together, which we are not. This is QC8, so quarantine calls 8. We're still in it, but I do appreciate that call, bud.
Oh, no problem, buddy. No problem. Like you said, this is QC8, quarantine call 8. Like Pag said, we cannot be in BDC Studios right now because of the current situation in the world. And then, so we've been doing the quarantine calls. So we're doing this over the phone. It's not the same, but it's still a blast. We hope everybody enjoys it. Also, I wanted to mention it is still season 3. And there's quite a bit we got to get into, man. So I think we just get in it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I love it, man. It's always good to be back on here with you. So let's do it as we always do. You guys know this is a cooking show, and you know we're going to talk about food. And so I believe you're actually in the middle of cooking right now at the time of recording, right?
Yes, sir.
What do we got?
Okay, so I have my 2 primary grills that I use, right? I have charcoal horizontal grill. It's Oklahoma Joe's, and I love that thing. And I try to grill and smoke with that most of the time. But I have a pellet grill, and it's so much it's easy. And I wanted to get a pellet grill because Camus doesn't like to use charcoal. And then, so if you want to grill like 4 burgers or a couple of pieces of chicken breast, we don't have to fire up the charcoal in the winter or whatever, you know? So I had
want to use the charcoal grill, huh? Now, Cam, we love you. I mean, we don't hold it against you that you're a woman, but sometimes you got to, like, step it up.
You got to do what you got to do. Yeah, you got to do what you got to do, you know?
No, I get it. Like, the convenience, man, for sure. Like, I mean, we have a charcoal grill we maybe use 3 times a year. So
okay.
I get it for sure. It's a way easier.
Don't get me wrong. If it's steaks or something like that, or if I do a brisket, I use charcoal. Nice. And then if I'm doing something smaller, then I'll use a pellet. So anyway, I had an Oklahoma Joe's pellet grill, and I had problems with it, tons of problems with it. It kept getting hot inside the hopper, and charring the pellets. I was worried it was going to start a fire. So it was having problems fluctuating with heat, all sorts of. It was not reliable. I couldn't use it. I definitely didn't want Camus using it when I was at work. I kept calling them, emailing them. They sent me parts. Took the whole thing apart, cleaned it, put new parts in, a new fan, a new temperature gauge, all this stuff. Still didn't work. I'm like, this is absolute bullshit. Like, I just want a grill that I can use. You know what I mean? This is pretty new, and I take care of it.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, how it wasn't that old, right?
No, it was like a month old when it started having problems.
Jesus.
So finally, I'm like, send me a new grill. I don't want parts again. I said, I don't have time, and I didn't go to college for this. You guys send me a bunch of parts, and then I have to disassemble this whole thing, put the new parts in. I'm like, I don't have time for that. And then test it out again, and then it doesn't work, and then call you guys, and then 4 weeks later, you guys send me more parts. I want to use my grill tomorrow. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So anyway, this went on for a while, and I called Target. That's where I got it. And they said, like 6 months after I bought it, they said, oh, that's terrible. Bring it in. We'll take care of you. Just like that.
Yeah.
That's horrible. Bring it in. We'll take care of you. This is Target. This is Target. We don't fuck around, you know.
They're not even American.
Yeah. So then, sure enough, I went there first because just in case the lady I was talking to on the phone was like a real employee.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to bring this 200-pound grill in at the back of my truck. And
smart,
like,
man. Smart. It's using your head.
So like, no, we're not. She doesn't work here.
Yeah. Was that Stacy again? We're always having trouble with her picking up.
Yeah. They said, yeah, bring it in. Went home, brought it in. They gave me a voucher for all the money back. And then I went, and I've been researching before this day because I'm like, I'm just going to throw this shit in the trash and buy a new one. I'm tired of it. And I told them that. They said, don't do that. You know, we want your business. Like, you don't want my business that bad, bitch.
Right.
Anyway, so I was in
technician.
Yeah. So I was in between Camp Chef, Green Mountain, and Traeger.
Okay.
And when I do research like that, I research for a long time, and I look at specs, and it's fucking dumb. But
no, it's smart, man. If you're gonna do something that's gonna like cook your food, that you're gonna invest in, that you will use a lot, you need to put the time in. I do that with a lot of the shit like that as well. Like something that you're gonna be using all the time like that, have
it's important.
To do the research.
Yeah, it's important. And I'm like, I'll spend more money for something. I just want something reliable, something that will work. If it goes down, customer service is good. So I had a buddy whose brother-in-law works at Traeger and was able to give me a pretty good deal.
Oh,
and I was able to look at this model of Traeger at I can't remember if it was Home Depot or Lowe's. And I looked at it. The size was perfect. It looked great. So then I went, picked it up from this dude's brother-in-law, got it. And so I grilled on it a few times. And then today I'm doing the bacon wrapped chicken thighs on it.
Ooh.
Which is just about a 3-hour cook. And it's one of my favorite things to cook, man.
Dude, that sounds good. We haven't done that yet. That sounds real good.
You haven't done it?
Mm-mm.
I'll just go over it real quick, man, because it's real simple, and it's tasty. So you just take boneless, skinless chicken thighs, and then you trim the fat. I trim off the big pieces of fat or pull it off, and then I rub both sides. Now, if you want to get depending on how much time you have and depending on how crazy you want to get, you can get jalapenos, cut them in half, clean them out if you want. And inside those little boats, you can put a mixture of cream cheese, blue cheese, feta, parm, whatever, cheddar cheese, whatever the fuck you want to put in there. Or leave that part out. Today, most of the time, I leave that part out. The important part is if you start stuffing cheese in it, you want to have the jalapeno in there because it gets hot and spills right the fuck out of the sides.
Oh, okay.
So anyway, you take the chicken thighs, you put a little rub on both sides, and you roll them, right? And then you just wrap them in bacon. And I think it's anytime you're doing something like that with bacon, what I always do is go with the normal classic cut bacon, because a lot of times your thick cut bacon won't cook all the way through.
Okay.
Whether you're doing jalapeno poppers or chicken, it seems like because you want that bacon crispy all the way, and you don't want to fuck around and have half-cooked bacon over. So I go with the normal cut bacon. I wrap it in there. Depending on how big they are, sometimes I skewer them with toothpicks or skewers, depending if there's a bunch of stuff in there. For this, I didn't. So then I put a little bit more rub on there. I put them out on the smoker at 250, and I let them cook for about 2 hours, and I'll kind of take a peek at them. I might hit them with an instant read thermometer, and then from there, like every 20 minutes or so, I'll kind of mop them with some barbecue sauce. And then they cook down. They get a little small. They're like little, big little footballs, but they taste fucking delicious, dude. That bacon and then the dark chicken meat, and so. Dude,
that sounds fucking delicious.
Dude, try it, and then if you don't try it by the next time you come hang out over here, then I'll make it for you, because like I said, it takes 3 hours. It's easy. You get boneless, skinless chicken thighs usually for about $2 a pound. Bacon's way more, like twice the price of that, but it's worth it, man. So I'm just doing that with some mac and cheese, and I make a pretty good broccoli salad. So that's what we're feasting on later.
Fuck yeah, dude, that's great. We're not doing anything fancy today. Tomorrow we're doing ribs again, so it'll be like our third or fourth time doing ribs. So I'm pretty pumped about that.
That's fucking exciting, man.
Just doing some, leftover stuff. We got a lot of potatoes from my aunt and uncle straight from their garden a couple weekends ago. So we've been eating potatoes like every day, which is great because they're fantastic. And JPEG's made an awesome, her shepherd's pie is pretty damn good, but we made it with some deer burger instead of beef, and it's fucking phenomenal. So we're finishing up that from the last couple of days and stuff. So but it's just fucking great, man. I'm pumped about the rib. See if we can get just better and better doing them.
What kind of ribs are you fucking with?
The St. Louis. The
St. Louis style.
Yeah. Yep. So that's what it seemed to do the last few times. They seem to be like, we're just trying to get that down before we try anything else, I guess.
Yeah, for sure, man. Yeah, I love that St. Louis style. Do you buy them like that, or do you just buy spare ribs and trim them, or?
No, we just buy them like that because most of the time when we get them, we just wait till they're like on sale or there's a good deal, and then just buy like 4 or 5 racks at once or something. Just keep them in the freezer. So.
Hell yeah, dude. Yeah, ribs are one of my favorite things, and I really think they're really hard to cook. Same thing with chicken. I think chicken is one of the hardest things to cook.
Mm.
But I think when you cook with chicken thighs, they're real forgiving because it's dark meat and it's juicy, you know. I think chicken breast is, and I don't fuck around too much anymore. I'll use an instant read thermometer just because with chicken, you could either way going, either somebody's going to get sick or they're going to have like that rubbery, like bloody chicken.
Right.
Or it could be dry as fuck, dude. So I try to cut it thin. If I get like chicken breast, I'll try to cut it in half. If it's real fucking big, I'll kind of pound it out. But you want juicy chicken. And so most of the time when I do chicken recipes, I use boneless, skinless thighs. And I chop that up or whatever instead of fucking with chicken breast just because it's so like finicky. And then the other part of that I think is skin. The skin's probably the best part of the chicken. And if you fuck around smoking it too long or whatever, it gets rubbery. So I really do think, other than ribs, I think chicken, whether it's chicken wings or they're the hardest things to cook and smoke for me, man.
Yeah, dude, I've been having a hankering for chicken wings. I haven't had them in a long time, and it's like on our list to do them on the smoker at some point and bust out some new hot sauces. Man, speaking of hot sauces, I had to like take a break recently, like this week, over like hot food because we made those candy jalapenos that I had told you about.
Yeah, dude.
And man, we let them set. They say best flavor, let them set for like 3 to 4 weeks before you open them, and like we could only make it 2 weeks, just literally seeing them in the refrigerator like every day, and so I finally bust them out, and they came out fucking fantastic. And I've just been eating, like, I've gone through a jar like a week and a half. I've just been putting them on like everything, and so like my system is like all fucked up. From it, man. Like I gotta at least take 24 hours off just to like heal the butthole.
Your butthole's gotta be fucking on fire, dude.
Yeah, but I love it, man. I love spicy food. And I've been on this. My mom bought me this hot sauce, and it's called anal angst. And, I thought it was going to be horrible. I might have talked about it on a podcast previously, but I thought it was going to be horrible. And it was really hot, but the taste was really good as well. But it was just like a big bottle. So I don't like to throw hot sauce away, so I've just been adding like more than what I normally do just to try to get through the bottle. And so I think that's part of it. And then open it up to those candy jalapenos, and which is super pumped because probably after we get off this podcast, we're gonna be making another batch of them. So we got our garden still going, and got another decent amount of jalapenos to come through right here towards the end. So I'm pretty pumped to get some more jars in. So
nice, man.
But you gotten any good hot sauces lately?
No, I haven't, dude. The ones I get, like my daughter got I can't remember what kind it is. It was the last one she got me was the Aardvark.
Okay.
Which is a habanero hot sauce. It's like thick pasty, and it's too fucking. It's more of a gag gift than anything. But I haven't got any good ones recently. Trying to think. Yeah, I think the last time I went to Volcanic Peppers, I got I just re-upped on stuff I've had. Yeah, shouts out for sure. Just got stuff I've had before and stuff that I liked versus trying like some new stuff,
Oh, right on. Yeah. No, that's the way to do it. I just busted in. So I did finish that anal angst, and I just busted into their the Volcanic Peppers, the Dole sauce, the green pepper sauce.
Yeah.
I think it's Dia.
Okay.
Or whatever it's called, and that one's really good. That's a mild sauce, and that one's really good. I got 2 bottles of that. So.
Verde.
Yeah. Verde Dia or something like that.
Yeah. That's fucking. I have some of that stuff. That's great.
Yeah. That's the one that I'm on now. So.
And I was gonna ask you, dude, with your ribs, what do you before you put your rub on? Do you put anything down?
Just a little bit of oil usually.
Oil. Okay.
Yeah. Not much.
Yeah,
just enough for it to stick. So.
Okay. Yeah, I know some people use olive oil, some people use mustard, and some people I got the idea from you the last couple times I did ribs. I put that Dia del Sol
hell yeah.
and then the rub, and it's supposed to help with moisture in the bark and all that stuff. So I was just curious on what you did. But olive oil.
Just the olive oil. Yeah, I mean, I'll put that hot sauce on anything. Like it's good on anything. It's great for cooking because it seems like the heat really cooks away from it, and I mean you get a little bit of it, but it's just more of the taste I feel with it. So I put it on the pork ass, and maybe see what JPAC says and see if she would want to try it on the ribs. We'll see how that goes.
Yeah, you might as well. I feel like when you put even if it's mustard, like I would get nervous, like when I've done it before, smearing mustard all over something that like the ribs or something, but you don't even taste it. I mean, it cooks, the flavor cooks out, but it helps with that bark and gives us some salt, I think. But anyway, yeah, dude, talking about shepherd's pie, that's good, man. Cold weather will be here in a few months, and there's so many cold weather meals that I'm looking forward to that I've been kind of staying away from just because it's been hot as fuck.
Yeah, dude, it has been. And so I've been running a lot. I've been like up in my running. I was getting like 10 miles in a week, and I've been trying to get more like the last couple weeks, I've gotten like 15, 16 miles. And the reason why is because I'm doing that market to market race in October.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm pretty pumped about it. And for people who don't know what that is, we're running from one market in the city to another market. And it's like
in another city.
Yeah, in another city. And so it's like 60 to 70 miles or something, but you run it as a team. And so the amount that I'm signed up to run, I can definitely do in one run. I think I'm signed up to run like 6.8 miles, but that's broken up in two different stages. So I just want to make sure I'm ready. I definitely don't want to like not show up and
let the team down.
I think doing it with Vito and some other shit. So it's just kind of giving me like a purpose, like to run. So but what I get at is, so I've been running, and when JPEG gets home from work, I've just been doing like this week. I've just been doing like 3 miles, which takes me about like half an hour or so. So it's been running hard, but she gets home between like 5:45 and 6 p.m. and it's been like 98 or whatever. And so like the other day when I got back from like a hard fast run, and I just like still sweating coming down, she's like, all right, it's like just finished up supper, and it was the shepherd's pie. I'm just sitting there dressed. I'm like, I mean, it looks good, but like I'm like, I had the thought like, if it was cooler, I'd much more appreciate this meal right now.
Oh yeah, man, for sure, dude. Yeah, it's just been so hot, and then I do, me. I mean, I'm a podcast producer of a cooking podcast for crying out loud. I love eating, I love cooking, but I get burnt out sometimes, and then just trying to think of ideas to cook. Yeah, it sucks, man, because at work there's a lot of pressure cooking at work, and I'm not the cook at work.
Right. Which, oh my God, if you were, I know you could do it, but that's got to be a ton of fucking pressure for sure.
Oh, it would be too much pressure. So we alternate between the engine company and the truck company. But when the engine company cooks, we'll help with whatever. Like, you need to peel potatoes, you want me to cut some onions, cut some peppers? Yeah. I'll do dishes, I'll do whatever I can. And I've cooked for them before, and I've helped them out. And like, when they're like, they got people on vacation, and then people are filling in who aren't there, and they're like, hey, let's do runs or something, and I'm like, yeah, fuck it, I'll even go to the store on my day off sometimes to help them out. But and when we're cooking, the four of us on the truck, we're all working in a team, and we were like, hey, what should we do? Okay, and we got a budget, and then so trying to think of ideas to cook that's new, that's good at work, and then do the same thing at home. Right. And then I'll be like, we just fucking bought mayonnaise. And we'll look like, no, I'm like, oh shit, never mind, I was at work. I did that at work. I bought mayonnaise at work. So, I'm like, and I try to stay away from these heavy, like, runs of casseroles and hot roasts, but I'll still do them because I don't have enough summer, just strictly summer meals. Right. You can't just do brats and BLTs all summer. You have to get some chuck roast and, so, but yeah, that shepherd's pie is a good one, which with the weather cooling down now, that I could see that one popping up either at work or at home because I love it, dude. Yeah, it's great. I can love it. And one thing I do like about colder weather is I do like soups a lot. So like I'm excited to get into some like chili stuff. Because if you make chili in like July and August, you probably kill people for a living. Oh, so. Probably. Yeah, dude. Soups and stews, beef stews. And, when we had Winey on the podcast, he talked about that white chicken chili. Herb. Yeah. And we did it. We did that. Me and Camus, and it turned out great. And, I don't remember which recipe we used, but it was great. Camus makes some good soups and stews. And, yeah, dude, it makes me excited for colder weather. We did do a crab shrimp baked about a week and a half ago. That was phenomenal. Dude, that sounds great. I love me some seafood. Oh, yeah, and it was just snow crab because I don't got king crab money, and then shrimp, andouille sausage, red potatoes, and then corn on the cob. and then, garlic, Old Bay, some more seasonings. And we had to eat it outside because it's messy as shit.
Yeah.
But just cracking fucking crabs and juices squirting out. I'm like, I'm glad we ate this outside.
Look at people driving by, like, look at these fucks. Paying them to sit down outside and have a seafood boil. What the hell's going on with you guys? Just cracking crab legs.
It's fucking disgusting.
Those are snow crab legs in August.
Yeah.
These fucking assholes. Who do they think they are?
Fucking savages.
That's great, man. Yeah, I bet that turned out phenomenal. So,
great, man.
Unless you have any other food stuff, I say that we do a hard pivot here if you're cool with that.
Absolutely.
I know that you were telling me that you had like 3 stories that you want to get to. And so I definitely want to hear these stories. I want to make sure we allow time for it. So you said you had 2 good ones and a bad one.
Yeah.
And so I don't know if they have to go into a specific order.
They don't.
Or if they don't, we could go good, bad, good. Or I'm just also a fan of just getting the bad one out of the way and just.
Yeah, I kind of am too, man.
Okay.
But let me look, because off the top of my head, I don't know what they are. Oh yeah, I'll do a good one, and then I'll do a bad one, and then I'll finish with that. The last one is kind of bad. It's not bad for me, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, I think we're good, and I appreciate the hard pivot because I would talk about food with you the whole time.
The rest of the podcast for sure.
Yeah. All right, so one thing I wanted to tell you is we did an escape room about a week ago. It was last weekend.
Fuck, dude, I've only done one once, and it was a fucking blast. It was a work thing with the team that I was on time. So it was a nice, cool, like, building teamwork activity, but I had never done one. I would love to do one with you and with Cam, because I did see your post that you had done. I don't want to spoil anything, but I seen that you put your record out there, and so I kind of want to get into that for sure.
Yeah, so we did, and it's kind of funny, man, because so we did an escape room in the same city about 2 years ago, and we got some friends that Jay Murda, like Stephanie, and Jay Murda is my dude. I don't know if you've ever met him, but
I don't think so.
He's a great person. He's just a great human being. His wife, same thing, just a great overall human being.
Hell yeah.
They invited us to have tickets to this free escape room, and we're like, we can do it this weekend. And I said, well, actually, that sounds great, because our buddy is coaching for Anthony Lionheart Smith on his pay-per-view match against John Jones, the champion. So whenever that was, I want to say that was 2 years ago. I might be way off. So we said, let's just do a weekend thing. So we went to that city. We had 2 rooms at I think it was a Marriott, and we did some pre-gaming. We did the escape room. We did dinner, and then we went to a bar, and we had a bunch of people coming for. We had a bunch of people coming for the pay-per-view fights. And back in the day, dude, you could go anywhere and fucking watch UFC pay-per-view.
Right. Yeah. This is pre-COVID, pre-pandemic, people.
No, this is like 5 years ago. Like now.
So it's way pre.
Yeah, way pre-COVID. Now, dude, like no, Buffalo Wild Wings doesn't have them. Like just your normal sports bars. There was only a few bars in that city that had UFC pay-per-view anymore. We found one. I got recommendations because I'm not from that city. And so we did the escape. Well, so anyway, I'll finish that, and then I'll go back to the escape room. Spencer came out. Some of the guys from that city came out, and we had a great night. So earlier in the night, we hit the escape room, and it was just 4 of us. We did an escape room that was for a max of 6 people, and it had a completion rate of like 29%. And I didn't know what to expect. I did a little bit of research.
Yeah.
And we did it, man. And it was close. I think we had maybe under 5 minutes left. So with an escape room, you go there, you sign waivers. They tell you, like, there's always a story behind it. It's like a murder or whatever. Bottom line is you have 60 minutes to get out of this room. Now, they have cameras on you. They're watching you. They do give you hints usually. And there's a series of, like, one room usually has like padlocks with like 3 to 4 digits. Some of them have numbers and letters. and then some of them have keys, and then it'll let you get into another room, and it might have a desk, and it has the same thing. All the doors are locked with different codes or whatever. Stuff on the wall. So pretty much you have 60 minutes, go. People fan out. They check everywhere for clues. Under lamps, all this stuff. You end up getting flashlights and shit that, all sorts of shit. And then,
a lot of unnecessary shit, too, from what I remember.
A lot on. Oh, yeah.
Because you're like, oh, yeah, we'll definitely need this book bag that has a padlock on it. And nope.
Yep. Nope. Yeah, so we did it. We passed. And I was like, that was fucking great, you know?
Great teamwork, too. Like, especially if you go, like, with people that you love, you know, and when you beat it, man, that feeling of beating it.
Oh, it feels so good.
Yeah.
Feels so good. So then the next time we went, there was a bunch of us heading to that same town for the Tenacious D concert. And
that's a great sentence, by the way.
Yeah,
I just want to just throw that out there.
It was at and I'm not a huge, I love Jack Black, and I do like Tenacious D, but I don't necessarily need to go to a Tenacious D concert, you know what I mean?
Right.
But when I had friends that wanted to go, I was like, yeah, I'll fucking go. It was at some outside, like, amphitheater, and the almost looked like woods surrounding it. It was a beautiful night. Before that, same thing. We met at a bar. It was 12 of us, I think. So 12 of us met, had a couple drinks, did the escape room, went somewhere for dinner and more drinks, and then we went to the concert. Now, I felt like, you know, putting my record on the line, 100% completion rate on the line was scary, man. But you know what? Like, you can do this.
Yeah, but you're not a real champion if you win the championship. Like, you're a
and
real
just
champion.
retire.
You can defend it.
You have to defend it, right?
Yeah.
And we did that.
Yeah.
So we did that, and now we have mixed crews. We had the same couple, Jay Murda and his wife Stephanie from the first one, friends of his, friends of mine. So it was a mixed crew. Some people I just met that night. So how, you know, effectively are we got to work together now, and we don't know each other. And we're drinking. We're drinking more than last time.
Of course.
We're actually going pretty hard before. So we do it. We complete it. Somehow we do it. This room is a lot bigger. Since there's 12 of us, we had to pick a bigger one, and it was a room for maybe 14 people or something. A little cramped, but it ends up opening to like 3 or 4 rooms, so you're able to spread out. And we didn't like assign a leader, you know what I mean? We just kind of worked together and
just let a natural leader appear. I get it.
Yeah, since we're all adults and nobody really panicked, we were able to effectively communicate and be like, hey, I got this clue. This might work for something. And people would listen. And then, you know, it just worked out like that. You didn't need to assign one leader, one scribe to write down numbers. And we just able to do it. We completed it. So then, and it felt great, man. And then Tenacious D fucking killed it, dude. Those guys are fucking great.
Of course.
So then last weekend.
Wait. To go back, when you finished it, do you remember about how much time you had left?
I do not. We didn't. It wasn't a lot of time. It was probably under 10 minutes. Yeah. So I mean, it was close, but it wasn't real close. So last weekend we took the boys. So we were going there because Camus's stepson from her previous marriage has a house, and we wanted to go see the house.
Oh, right on.
Yeah. So he's 21 now. So we were gonna see him, see the house, and just hang out for a little while and do dinner. And then I was like, well, what if we do an escape room?
I like putting it back on because you're still at 100% at this point.
I'm at 100%, dude. 2-0, ready to put it back on the line.
Hey, man, swing or swing, you know?
Yeah, shoot or shoot. Shooter, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Yeah, Wayne Gretzky, Michael.
So we got the boys now. So we got 2 teenagers and 1 young adult. I know they're smart. They're in school. They do math and shit. They're good at like encryption stuff. It's just we don't know how motivated they're going to be.
Have they ever done one?
No, they've never done one.
Never done.
They were interested, but they're teenagers. So teenagers are like 5 minutes in. They're like, this is dumb. Let's go. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we
I
didn't
figured
know.
that would be something that they would enjoy as teenagers. So like,
it
seems like it's pretty appealing, but I guess depending on what type of person they are.
No, and we know the boys, and we figured it'd be something that they would like. It would be something that they'd probably be good at, because most of it is encrypted. All of it is encrypted. They don't ever give you just 4 digits usually. So, I mean, you have to figure out what this means and how to figure out a formula. How does this number translate into letters, or this sequence translate into numbers? I knew they were capable of it for 100%. I was nervous about motivation because they're teenagers, and if they didn't get it, I didn't know if they'd be like, you know what, fuck this. This is dumb.
Right. Yeah, like start getting pissed off. Okay.
Yeah. So, or just not, you know. So anyway, we get in there, and it's another room. You know, I would never do the same room again.
Right.
Even though I wouldn't remember, you know, 2 years later.
Yeah, but something might jog your memory, though. You never know.
Right. But yeah, either way, I wouldn't do the same room again. So we do a different room, and we get in there. It's this pretty small room, and we bring pens and notepads because now, I mean, fuck, we've been here before. We know what's going on here.
Right.
We know we're going to need pens and papers.
Yeah. Bring a Camelback, you don't know. They say an hour, but, you know.
Yeah,
you
bring a Camelback, compass, bayonet. After your second one, you're like, you know what you need. Yeah, you know what you need. So we get in there, and it's a pretty small room, and we fuck up on the first room a little bit. And
just take a little bit longer than what you thought, or? Yeah,
no, well, it's hard to explain. It'd be stupid to try to explain how this room was set up, but there was these poles on the wall that rotate,
okay,
like metal 1-inch pipe. And some of them had numbers on them, some of them had symbols on them, and anyway, we figured out this code, but we were counting the wrong way, and it wouldn't work. And then eventually find out, we were supposed to go counterclockwise. Get it right away, unlock the next door. The next door there wasn't much in this first room other than what we had, and it was small for 5 of us. We get to the next room. The next room is a big office room. There's a computer without a keyboard on a desk with like 4 locks on it, and then a fireplace and all these pictures and all sorts of stuff that we could actually look at and spread out and investigate. That was better because the first room was real cramped. And like, if we got to spend 30 minutes in here, this is going to suck just that, you know. But anyway, so we get into the second room, opens up to the third room, and this is a murder room where this murderer actually kills people. So there's fake blood and chair that has leather straps on it to tie him down. And
so, like, right when you walk into that room and you see all that blood stuff, how hard did you get?
Oh, real hard, dude. And I didn't have like a long shirt to cover. I tuck it, you know.
So you're just walking around all awkward and stuff, trying to get it figured out.
Well, I was able to. You had to go. It was weird. The fireplace opens up, and you have to crawl under the fireplace to get to the third room. So I let the boys go in there first. I didn't see it for a while because I'm like, well, they're way shorter than me, and their backs are bigger than me.
Yeah.
But go see what you got right off the bat, and then give us any intel you have. We still got people in the first room, kind of going back and forth. The second room, now we got 3 rooms.
How many people did you say was total? 5?
5 of us.
5.
Yep. And I think the room was a max of 8 people. So we're doing pretty good. And time is ticking, though. And we get stumped on a few things. It's like you get stumped on a few things, and you're like, when nobody's not doing anything, just kind of going back at stuff. In this escape room, there were so many numbers and number combinations. We had all these numbers written down. And we kept trying them on different keypads. They weren't working. So we're like, what the fuck? So there was actually a problem. Something didn't come down that was supposed to come down. So the guy came in the room and said, hey, do that again. He yelled at one of the boys that's in the third room. He did it again. It didn't happen. He hit this thing on this wall, and it comes down.
Oh,
like,
okay.
So
some technical difficulties.
Technical difficulties. So then he puts 10 minutes back on the clock, and then we're doing it, and then then now we're cooking. And we're cooking. This gets unlocked. This door gets unlocked. Boom, now we got a computer pad for the computer, and then, like, all this stuff starts happening. Now we're under 2 minutes, dude. But we're moving. Like, everything we're doing is working, and we're locked in. I don't know if we're gonna do it at this point. So
yeah, you're seeing your 100% like success rate go out the window,
like,
diminishing.
Yeah, like fuck.
Yeah, you're fighting that weird boner. That's
I'm hiding that.
It's an emotional ride for you. I get it.
It's a ton of adrenaline coursing through my body. The thing drops down and it's in fucking hieroglyphics, but it has codes in the corner. Camus's oldest pagan is just fucking looking at it, boom, translating it to somebody with an iPad, like he does this daily, right? I think anybody could have did it, but he just did it like, oh, I do this, like I know this. He's doing that, translates it to the person with the pad. The person on the pad translates it to Camus. Camus is at the keyboard at this desk, and she's typing in stuff, information. And then they're like, she's like, it's not working. And they're like, are you in caps or no? She's like, yeah, it's in caps, because it's in caps. And they said, try it without caps. And I don't remember who said that. But she does, and it lets us in the system. And now it's all these files. And we're going through files, and I'm like, oh, shit, we're under a minute at this point.
Oh, my
And
God.
I didn't know there was more than one page. She starts scrolling down. She scrolls down fast, and then I catch it, and then Javi catches it. And there's writing on the side of this case file. And I said, go back. What was that? And she stops, goes back, and it says, so now we know there's probably just one code left, and that's the 4-digit code to get out of the room and win.
Right.
And it says your escape code is 4 digits, £. So that's it. She yells it to the person at the door. They put it in, and boom, the green light comes on. We escaped. And I don't remember did I put the time on Instagram?
Fuck yeah. Yeah, on Instagram you said it was 15 seconds.
15 seconds, okay.
Yes, 15. That is fucking phenomenal.
I knew it was under 15 seconds. And so the adrenaline rush, you're like, holy shit.
When you saw that green light, what did you do? Did you just like, woo?
Yeah, because I had, like, this was in the second room.
Yeah.
So, I was in the third room, first room, but going back and forth. And I remember, like, we were, we're moving. And I would look at the clock, under a minute, look at the clock, 30 seconds.
Oh, my God.
And now I'm at the computer with Camus looking at this file. And then she yells out the number. And I don't even know if we failed at this point.
Yeah.
I said, hey, go back. That's it. That's it. Because it's like a case file of like 6 pages. And on the bottom page, like written sideways on the page, it was in, I said, what's that? That's it. And then boom, it says it. She yells out the code, and I'm like, I don't even know if we're too late or not. We could possibly expired like a few seconds ago.
Yeah,
puts
just
in the
missed
code.
it by seconds. That would be
puts
fun.
in the code, boom, and we still had time on the 15 seconds, man.
Dude, that is phenomenal, man. That's a rush for sure.
Absolutely, dude. So now 3-0.
3-0. Hell
3-0.
yeah, that's great.
100%. The boys enjoyed it. They want to do another one. There's a bunch of them in our city, so we're going to look at doing them here. It's with COVID, they disinfect everything before each team goes in, and you wear a mask. But once you're in the room with your team, you don't have to wear a mask. Okay. Which is better for communicating. And so he came in and talked for a little while. Said we did good, and he said one of the locks unlocked early, and it wasn't supposed to. He said, and it was for the keyboard. Yeah. That went to the computer monitor. So once that opened, we spent so much time trying to figure out this username and password. It really fucked us, dude. I mean, me and Camus both spent so much time putting in other numbers in there and trying to figure out. And one of the last things you get, like the second or third step before the door code, is something drops down and the code for that lock opens. So they think it wasn't locked all the way, or somehow we guessed it, but it wasn't supposed to open until like 30 minutes later, as far as how it goes. So it really hurt us worse than helping us. That, and then there was a bunch of codes he talks about. He's like, oh, yeah, that doesn't mean anything. That's there to throw you off. And I was like, Jesus Christ, we spent so much time with – but they throw stuff in there, like on the door and like chalk in the first room, it said something like search the world or something like that. And then there was a globe in the other room, and on the globe it was real faint, but it had 4 numbers on it. And we'd use that 4-digit code on everything. It didn't work on anything. He said it was just there to fuck with you. I was like, God damn it, you son of a bitch. But,
that's hilarious. Dude, that's great, man. That's got to be exhilarating. I mean, especially you had the technical difficulties, but still, I mean, you still did it. Yeah, it was a blast. The boys had fun. I was proud of them. They did good. They were motivated the whole time, and they both have different skills, you know. And I think with an escape room, it's just like
if you're doing like trivia or something, but different groups of everybody's good at something else or has other specialty. So it's just fun. And then one point I skipped was on the way into town. We went to a bar and grill to eat dinner, and our escape room was later. It was like at 8 maybe, and well, maybe it wasn't that late, but it was too late that I didn't want to be in there hungry. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
So we ate first. I walk into this bar, and I see this dude right in front of me. Like I walk into the bar and I see this dude right in front of me, and he's at, I think, the ATM machine, and he's got a hat on, he's got a mask on, but I'm like, I know this fucking dude. So I'm looking at him, and I recognize him. It's fucking Tower.
Oh no shit!
So I throw my hands up. I take a step left. I throw my hands up, and he's looking at me, and he's the same thing. I have a hat on. I have a mask on. He's like, "Oh shit, Spicy! What the fuck, dude?" We give hugs. He's like, "What are you doing here?" And I tell him, and he's there with some friends, and they said they were going to check out a comedy show later. And I was like, "Oh man, that's fucking awesome, dude. It's good to see you." And he said to tell you what's up. And
oh hell yeah, shout out Tower, man. That's great.
Hell yeah. And he said he was one episode back. I think he had listened to QC8, but I don't think he had made it to 7 yet. I told him we got a new one coming up soon, but it was good to see him.
Oh fuck yeah, that's great.
So yeah,
that's
all in all,
something I
man.
haven't done in forever. Just run into somebody random. I try not to go out in the public as much now.
Right, for sure, man.
It's 2020.
Yeah, when I'm in a city that's not even my city, like I don't expect to see anybody I know. So
that's great. Fuck yeah, man. 3-0, man. That's something to be proud of for sure.
Yeah.
Dude, that's fun.
At 3-0, if we do one now and we don't get it, it's about having fun. Nobody's going to give a fuck if I'm 5-0 at escape rooms. It's not going to help me with my credit score or fucking.
You can put it on your resume.
It's not going to help me with my problems with Jesus. It's not going to help with any of that shit. But it sounds cool.
I would say, for sure. Like to get to that 3-0 is pretty great. If you get more, fantastic. But I mean, if you don't, you don't.
No, it's fun either. It's fun no matter what.
Yeah.
And they take a picture of you, win or lose, and they'll put it on their Facebook page usually, and it just feels way better that we succeeded,
Yep.
Because in this one, it was a murderer. It was a jury kind of deal, and we were part of a jury, and the judge made a mistake, so the killer got off. But since we tried to convict him guilty, he was killing all the jurors.
Oh,
and if we didn't get out of that room in 60 minutes, the killer would come back and he was gonna murder us. So we did not get
definitely
murdered.
don't want to die. You see, that's why you said you need to bring a bayonet. You just never know.
You never know. Always carry a bayonet, ladies and gentlemen.
I know where you can get one. All right, so for the bad story, I guess at this point, unless there's anything else that you want to wrap up with.
No, sir.
Rooms. So that's great, fucking fantastic story.
Yeah, if there's anybody listening that is big on escape rooms or have done one or can recommend one, let me know because I'm definitely down. Pags, we for sure have to get one, dude. Do one together, man. I think it'd be a blast.
Like, make sure you lose one before I go to the next one. I feel bad if we don't get through it, but
no.
Yeah, no, I would love to do it for sure.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Okay. Next time we get together, we'll do it.
Yeah, we could for sure do that, man. Takes an hour. If we're good, it takes us the last one took us 59 minutes.
45
and 45 seconds. So shit, that's nothing, dude. Oh yeah, so my second story happened about 3 weeks ago. So I get a call at like 12:30 at night, and it's from my mom.
Oh shit.
Yep, and she says, "Hey, my apartment is on fire, and I barely got out."
She's supposed to call the fire department, not me directly, Mom.
Yeah. She said she barely got out. Firefighter carried her down the stairs.
Oh,
and
shit. Well, so I'm assuming she was sleeping then, right?
Yeah, she was sleeping.
So she barely got out? So was it in her apartment?
No, it was apartment catty corner.
Okay.
So then she says, "I'm okay, and I don't." And then she's like, "I don't think it was any of the apartments on my building. I think it was down another building. And in my head, I'm like, this story's not adding up at all.
Yeah.
Like, there wouldn't be that much smoke. But when you hear, as a fireman, when you hear people talk about smoke, they use, like, I hear people will, same thing with bleeding. Like, we'll get a call, they'll tell dispatch, my daughter cut her wrist. It's heavy bleeding. We're trying to control it right now. Or they won't say that, but dispatch will say, hey, we have a suicidal party, heavy bleeding. They're attempting to hold, control bleeding at this time. And then we'll get there. And it's not bleeding. And they're like, well, this is okay. I mean, you're going to have to go to the ER because if you're trying to actively hurt or kill yourself, but if you're going to be just fine, And then the same thing with smoke. So they'll say, oh, this heavy smoke. And then it's a haze. It's like gray smoke.
Right. I'm sure it's heavy smoke to them if, not used to seeing it.
Absolutely.
That,
same thing with bleeding.
In a place where you leave.
Yeah. So same thing with bleeding. Heavy bleeding is like arterial bleeding, just lots of blood, not like drops of blood. But if you're not used to that and it's a family member, that's heavy bleeding to you. Heavy smoke to a firefighter is dark, black, pressurized, smoke, like a rapid fire progression phenomenon kind of deal, where it's just heavy smoke pushing out. That's heavy smoke, not a gray haze. But if it's your house, a thick gray haze, that's heavy smoke to you. So I talked to her. She was with a medic. Her name was Mindy, and I know her vaguely. I talked to her. She said my mom was okay. She said her vitals are fine. She told me her vitals. And she said she didn't think her apartment was affected. She asked me for my phone number. I don't think she was trying to make a move. I think she was just trying to give me info about my mom and the building. Yep. So she sends me a picture. And it's tough to orientate at night. I'm sleeping. It's 12:30 at night. So I get dressed.
And you're not on shift, right?
I am at home. I'm at home. If I would have been on shift, I would have been there because my truck company was there.
Oh, okay. Nice.
So it's not even my territory, but this was a multiple alarm apartment fire. So they had, I think, 4 or 5 trucks there. My truck company was there. It was just another shift. So I get dressed. I go out there. I just park wherever I can. I go there, and I see the ladder truck from truck 1 right on top of my mom's apartment. She lives on the 3rd floor. And I'm like, if it's not her apartment, if she thinks she lives on the other side, like they would not be right there unless the other side is so bad you have to access it from the state side. So I don't know. So I'm looking for my mom. I go around the building, and I'm like, oh, yeah, the 2 apartments next to my mom, the one catty corner and the one next to her, are burned real bad. They're still on fire. At this point, it's still rolling.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, fuck. Like, she thinks how do I explain this? So there's apartments, 3 stories. Each floor has 3 apartments. And then there's a firewall. And then there's, to the left of that, there's the same thing. 12 apartments and 3 floors with 4 apartments. Another firewall, and then there's 12 more apartments. She thought they brought her out exit that she's never came out of before.
Okay.
She usually parks on the north side of the parking lot and goes in the north doors. They brought her out of the south side, which I don't know why they brought her out of the south side because that's where the fire was at. So anyway, she's on the south side of the building, and she thinks she lives on whatever, the east side, I think it was.
Yeah.
And the picture, it showed it showed where my mom's apartment was, highlighted, that Mindy sent me, and I'm like, I don't know. But it was tough. It's at night. So anyway, I get there, I find my mom, I look at the apartment, I said, hey, Mom, I said, and she took in a lot of smoke, I guess, so I said, hey, you are going to have to prepare that you might have lost a lot of things and that your cats might not be okay, or probably not going to be okay because your apartment isn't over here. It's right across from where that fire is rolling right now. And so she's crying. She's upset. She's talking about her babies because she has 3 cats in there. Yeah. So I'm like, this is just a tough. And I'm like, nothing's going to, at this point, like, nothing's going to be salvageable.
Right. That definitely sucks. But I mean, at least to this point,
she's okay.
Mom's out and she's okay,
out
for sure. Yeah.
And I knew the story didn't make sense because I'm like, if she lived on the way other side of this apartment complex, and I know there's firewalls in there because I look at that and sprinklers and stuff. And one of my last conversations when I was at her place you don't know what your neighbors are going to do. You have to be careful because of fires. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's weird. That was the last time I was over there a few months ago. So anyway, so she's okay. She's upset now. I'm nervous. It's another shift working. I know most of these guys. I go up and talk to them. I'm like, hey, have you been in that apartment right there? You know, and they're like, no, not yet. I said, oh, I was worried about our cats. They said, we're going to send guys in there, that kind of stuff. So I'll speed the story up. We're out there for a few hours. Fire gets put out, and then I run into the captain of Truck 61, who I know. He's a special ops guy like me. We've gone through a ton of training. We're on USAR together. Solid captain. Solid dude. His name is Dustin Guzman. He told me they went up to the third floor to do a search as soon as they got there. Well, first, let me tell you this is what my mom said, and I'll tell you what the captain of Truck 31 told me. So my mom said she woke up, she heard a bunch of commotion, noise, went in the living room, heard the alarm, it was smoky, and saw a bunch of lights in the parking lot. Those are fire trucks. She said she tried to get out of the front door, it was smoky. Closed the door, tried to get on the back balcony, she said it was smoky. She grabbed her phone, and then she tried to go out call 911, I think, and then tried to get out of the front door. Well, she said she got to the front door, and this is when, Truck 31 got to the third floor, because when you're a truck company, they do search and rescue. That's what I do. Mm-hmm. We do search and rescue and ventilation. So we'll send a crew in to do search. We'll send other crews to the roof to cut holes, to get heat and smoke out so people could do search and hit the fire with water. But truck company, our main thing is life safety. So we go in, no hose line or anything. We just go in there, we start searching. So they get to the third floor. He said he heard coughing. And he said he thought it was somebody on his crew. So he's like, hey, put your fucking mask on, is what he said. They said, hey, we got a lady here. He said when they were on the third floor, he said he couldn't even see his glove in front of his mask. It was pitch black smoke.
Shit.
So it was pitch black smoke. They weren't expecting to encounter anybody. He said he saw my mom. He said there was no way she was going to find her way out, and zero visibility. And with debris in the hallway from the ceiling and insulation, said he grabbed her, took her down the stairs, fell, almost broke her ankle, got her out, and then gave her to the medics. Medics checked her out, and that's when they called me. So anyway, since then, I thanked him. I thanked the crews.
Yeah.
Engine 33 B shift was one of the last rigs on scene. They're hitting hot spots, and they were helping people get into their apartments. And I was able to go in. I brought 2 flashlights with me that night. One of the dudes working didn't have any flashlights. And I'm like, what? He wanted to borrow one of mine. I'm like, I'm not even working, bro. Like, here you go, though. So I was able to go in. It was real smoky still, but the fire was out. So I was able to grab her wallet, stuff she would need for the next few days. And then I was trying to help other people do the same. And I want to give a big shout out to the Humane Society, because they do not get the respect they deserve. Yeah. They went in there. They got that. Firefighters gave them the animals. They went over to my mom and told her what happened and apologized. The dude was such a nice guy. And one out of her 3 cats survived.
Holy shit!
Which is incredible. Way. It got out, and one of the neighbors grabbed it. And then my mom said, looking for. They said, "Oh, was it her?" And they got the cat back to her. So, which was incredible, because she would have lost all 3. Which I don't understand how that didn't happen.
Yeah.
It's crazy. So I'm just so glad that one of her cats made it. The other 2 did not make it. The Humane Society was great. Red Cross was there. Red Cross was taking everybody's information, giving people debit cards so they could, if they needed to, they could stay in hotels, they could buy clothes, they could buy medicine, They could buy whatever they need. They do not get the same recognition that they should.
Yeah.
So since then I've thanked Dustin Guzman, and I'm planning on hooking those guys up with a big steak block for their last day coming up. And then so the Red Cross people, and we work with Red Cross, we work with the Humane Society all the time. And those guys are fucking phenomenal, dude. Like, they help out so much, and they do so much. They don't get recognized like police and fire do, but they do such hard work. And it's work that I don't think even I could do, because working with like injured animals and dead animals and seeing like bad conditions that these animals are in, and then trying to rescue them, and they got hearts of gold. So I told both of the lady from the Red Cross accidentally stole my mom's driver's license. So so that night I take her home, give her, clothes, stuff, let her shower, and then we start working on insurance and all that stuff the next day. And I call Red Cross. I'm like, hey, you guys stole my mom's driver's license. And I thank them. And then I got 2 of my mom's cats cremated and put in a box, and I thanked them. And I told them the same thing, like, you guys are underappreciated, and you guys, they did great. Engine 33's crew, they stayed for hours helping these people. There's an 80-year-old lady there with no friends or family that live close. They were helping her get stuff out and go in, and Red Cross was giving her a debit card and rides to a hotel so she could get medicine, clothes for the night. They went back in to get her ID, and you know what I mean? Like, all those people were working hard for everybody.
That's great, man. Yeah, I mean, thank God they found your mom for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it took my mom a few days to realize, like, in heavy smoke like that, like, you're breathing in poison. You can't breathe.
Yeah.
You're choking.
Yeah.
And to
Is
not
she
pass
still
out.
doing good now?
She's still great, man.
Okay.
She didn't even go to the hospital. She didn't. She could hardly walk once her adrenaline wore off. She denied. She didn't want to go get her ankle checked out. She was coughing a little bit, but even by the time I got there, she wasn't coughing that hard. And at first, I'm like, it was just the haze, probably, But then I found out the truck captain told me, like, no, it was pitch black smoke. Like, there's another minute even maybe, she would have been unconscious. And then who knows how long it would have took them to, because you start closest to the fire to do your search. Yeah. Obviously, if the fire room is, you look at the probability of survivability, which it's tough if you can't see anything. You could only gauge by heat and fire, and we have suits on, but you could tell if it's hot. If it's really hot for us, like, the probability of somebody being in a fully involved apartment unit, not going to be alive. So then you start closest to that. You start closest to the fire, and you work your way out. Like, is anybody in here? And we're checking under beds, we're checking closets. That takes a lot longer than, I hear somebody coughing. There's somebody here. If she would have felt unconscious, they might not have got for 1 minute, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and she might have died. So it's incredible.
Yeah, thank God she got out. Do they know what caused the fire?
Yeah. So the person in the unit catty corner to her, it was smoking materials on their balcony, and they left. They weren't there when the fire started.
Oh,
so the fire started. It got in the attic, in the ceiling, and it just started rolling. Turned into a 2-alarm fire. And so I'm glad my mom is good. She had renter's insurance. It's with State Farm. They were incredible. I've been on the phone with them for a while every day, and then almost every other day. They're going to replace I was able to go in about 4 or 5 days later, only because it was with the State Farm representative and a fire investigator, and they didn't want the fire investigator to go in, and he said, you can't stop me from going in. I'm a private fire investigator. Your management told you nobody goes in, but you can't stop me. So they let me go in with them, not my mom, so I was able to get a few more things and look at the assessment, or, do kind of an assessment. The State Farm agent said nothing is salvageable. So she's able to get new stuff. So we filed a claim, but it took 18 days. This was just the other day. They finally let people in, but they let people in for 8 hours so that they had to get everything they wanted to get and dump all the trash that they could, or else they were going to get charged to do that.
Yeah.
So we rented a dumpster, and then we dumped couches, everything, and then went through. We already had an inventory in. We sent it to State Farm, but it wasn't complete because you're going to forget shit.
Yeah.
So the second one we did that day, we went through all the clothes and then salvaged like photos and stuff from Germany that we're going to try to clean and get all that stuff out. But at this point, she's happy. She's healthy. We found her a new apartment in a better part of town. Yeah. That's 55 and up, and she moves in on the 15th. So
things are looking up, man. That's good. That
yeah.
She's got one cat at least. So.
Yeah. She'll get brand new couch, TV, computer, clothes, all that stuff, and hopefully we're going to get the rest of that stuff clean. So, but that it's scary being on the other side of that, seeing crews work. Yeah, man, like it was scary. It was shitty. I felt so bad. I'm just happy my mom was alive.
Yeah. Did anybody die? Do you know?
Nobody died.
That's great. That's great. And all you said from smoking, right? Somebody smoking.
They didn't put it out right, and then it started the deck on fire, and it got into the eaves and into the roof. And
okay, you kind of cut out at the beginning. You said it was a cigarette.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, somebody was smoking. Right. Yeah, somebody was smoking on a deck, and they didn't dispose of it properly.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's what it was, and it happens all the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just scary. So I'm glad everything's good now. Shout out get insurance if you live in a. My first thought was if Spencer was in my city doing dumb shit.
Yeah, that's the fucking smart thought, man. He's always starting apartment fires everywhere.
Yeah, he loves starting apartment fires, man. It's a fucking pyromania.
Yeah. I'm tired of these QC calls. You guys get back in the fucking studio. I want to be on. I'll show these assholes.
Yeah. Attention-seeking behavior, Spencer. We'll have you on, dude. We're in a pandemic.
Yeah. Oh, my God. Well, yeah, dude, at least she's fucking safe, and that's a crazy-ass story. Yeah, I've luckily never had to go through that or know. I mean, I know people, but not like close family like that has ever gone through anything. So I'm sure, especially for you to be on that side of it. Have you ever been on that side of it before?
Never. No, never.
Yeah. Man.
So, and you realize, like, and I realize this when it happens, you try to subdue it.
Yeah.
So when you go to a fire, like your adrenaline is up, then you're working, and then when it's the cleanup phase, you're seeing guys from different parts of town, different firehouses, guys that are on trade time, guys that are on callback, and you're like, oh shit, what the fuck are you doing here, man? Like, and you don't high five,
right?
You give some fist bumps and hugs and stuff.
Yeah.
Just because this guys you haven't seen in a while, your adrenaline's up, you're exhausted, you're sweaty. It'd be like after like a football game or something like that.
Yeah, but I mean that's like part of your job. You guys are a team.
We're a team.
The city is one
team.
big team. So yeah, when you see it, which is weird, I'm sure for people who have never been a part of it or don't think it that way, especially if you just literally lost everything that you own.
Oh yeah,
for sure.
And we're not like high fiving. Look, we crushed this. We dominated this thing. We stopped most of it. It's just, oh, hey, it's good to see you, man. Hey, good work in there, So we're smiling and we're bouncing shit back and forth. We're still hurting. It's awful seeing the damage from it, And I've been on a ton of apartment fires, and the most memorable one in recent memory was Christmas 2 or 3 years ago. Christmas Day at 5 a.m, big apartment fire. Everybody lost everything. It started from smoking on a balcony and got in the eaves and spread, and hard to access a lot of the areas. We had to evacuate a couple times while we were in there because of collapses. And I just remember pulling up, and everybody from the whole apartment is sitting outside crying on Christmas Day. All their toys, everything, like their pictures, their whole life is in there. And we roll up, and we're like, all right, let's fucking do whatever we can do, but. And then people that lose family members, people lose animals. It's horrible, man. We do whatever we can. We just know we didn't start it. We could just do whatever we can. So it's really tough being on the side that working it and seeing that a lot, but being actually affected by the fire it's just different, man. It puts things in perspective. But yeah, just be careful, man. I tell people all the time, like, I'm careful in my house. I tell people to be careful in their house. Check your smoke detectors, your CO detectors. If you're in an apartment,
have a fire extinguisher.
Have an extinguisher, have a escape plan, have a plan. In a house, have a plan.
Yep.
Like that. It's tragic. And, I mean, everybody, I have a fire safe with important documents in it, but as far as pictures and stuff, I know a lot of that's digital now, but everybody has stuff that's you can't replace.
Yeah.
Luckily my mom had tons of smoke damage, a little bit of water damage. So when they came in, we knocked shit over. We're pulling ceiling. We're searching. We fucked shit up, but that's not that much damage. But when you have heavy fire damage, it's done. When you have heavy water and then smoke, So hers was just charged with smoke so bad that everything, like, they said you could probably clean everything for $10,000. And they said it might not work. So then, like, she had like a $25,000 policy. So then you would only have $15,000 to replace the stuff that wouldn't be cleaned. Or
Right.
We don't think it's salvageable, especially when the clothes were sitting in there for 18 days.
Yeah.
But they could do tests. They could pull out like a couple clothing items and try to clean it for free. And if they can't clean that, they'll know they can't clean the rest. And we just said, fuck it. Like, we're going to replace everything. Start over.
Yeah, start over.
We're not going to spend $2,000 to replace a couch. And if it doesn't work, then, so we're just going to start over. We did salvage everything we could. And, yeah, so that's that, man.
Yeah, fuck, man. That's what a wild month it's been, on top of everything else that's going shitty. So, but as people say, when shit like this happens, she's safe, and, she did get one cat out at least, and thank God it wasn't the city or something calling you, telling you that they found your mom or something. So it definitely could have been a lot worse. So. Oh,
my God, dude. I'm happy her being alive is the most important thing. Everything else can be replaced.
Yeah.
And then her getting at least one cat out. The other two cats must have hid, and then this one must have ran out into the dark with shit falling from the ceiling in fire and made it downstairs or some shit. I don't know how.
Out of the three cats, was this the youngest cat? Do you know? Was it just like, fuck it, we're just going?
No, I don't think it was, man. I don't think it was the youngest, but.
Crazy.
It's fucking smart though, man.
Yeah, that cat seen some shit and got out.
Yeah, I was like, fuck this, and
what's the name of the cat that survived?
Bella.
Hell yeah. Shouts out Bella, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Just straight savage, man, relying on those animal instincts.
For sure, dude. It's crazy, man. That part is crazy.
Bella probably got shit from the other two cats her whole life. Like, shit goes down, what are you gonna do? She's like, I'll show you one day. I'll show you one day. One day it's my time to shine.
Yeah, I'll show you motherfuckers.
Shit gets up, your mom wakes up so full of smoke, and Bella's like, fuck you bitches, I'm out, Mom.
I'm out. She gone.
All right, man, so what's this? We're just over an hour, I think, at this point, but I definitely want to know what this third thing is, and then I say we get that, and then we'll do our shout out fuck yous, and then get going.
That sounds great, man. Okay, so, and thinking, like, now, like, I should have led with this story, because it's not as, it's dark. It's kind of fucked up. It's It's definitely not as fucked up.
Sometimes that's just the way it goes.
Yeah, I think that's the way it goes. It's not that fucked up to me, but it might, to somebody else, it might seem kind of fucked up. So, right, here it goes. So, I want to say we've been busy as shit at work, okay? So, it's summertime in the city, and even earlier when it was summertime in the city, like, we had COVID, we had people locked down. It wasn't too bad. We were making a ton of COVID calls, but a lot of those were just people scared. It's like, listen, if you're okay, don't go to the hospital. They don't want you to go to the hospital. They can't give you medicine at the hospital. If you're not having difficulty breathing or your vitals are fine, like, don't go to the hospital. If you really need to go to the hospital, if you could drive yourself, you do it so you don't expose us to it. It was kind of bad for a while. And then, like, recently in the last month, I think the whole city was slower, you know what I mean, because of that. The last month, it's back summertime in the city, man. We're fucking running calls all day, all night. Like, last set, we had a couple days where our ambulance was hitting 20 calls a day, 18 calls a day. The truck is running over 10. The engine's running over 10 calls in a 24-hour period, and we're doing it. Right? It's go time.
That's a lot.
We've had fires. That we had a technical rope rescue on top of just your normal, like, overdoses, your crazy shit, assaults. So this one 24-hour period, it starts off pretty shitty, and that's the story but later in the shift, we're busy, and we make a cutting call where a chick cut her wrists twice the wrong way. It was,
she went horizontal, but it was deep, and then she duct taped it, and then drove as far as she could, and then called, and
It was bad, covered in blood, and she tried to kill herself. A kid, like a young adult, took a bunch of pills and drugs, tried to kill himself. And then we did have one person successfully. A husband hung himself.
Oh my God.
And the wife found him, and he showed up, cut him down. Or no, he was down, but he was dead. And it happened to be on his granddaughter's birthday.
Fucking Christ.
So that's 3 calls we made in one 24-hour period, and there was a bunch more. Those are 3 suicide calls. So the first call of the day was it came in. It was like 7. Shift starts at 7. This call came in at like 7:05, and it was for a possible code 4, which means possible dead person.
Okay.
Right. So and it's an overdose. So it's in this apartment complex. The caller gave us the wrong address. So we roll right by, and this lady's on my side, and she's waving at us. And I said, hey, I think it's back here. This lady's waving. So the captain calls. Me and the captain jump out, and we start heading towards the lady, and the firefighter and the driver are backing up the rig because it's 7:10 in the morning,
right? And
we don't want to run anybody over in the apartment complex, so they're ground guiding. So the captain walks up to the lady. She's probably in her 30s. Starts getting information, and he's like, "Hey, check the guy." So I'm like, "All right." So I start going up the stairs. They're outside. There's a door, and then there's stairs, and then there's a hallway. Okay. She's like, "It's upstairs, like whatever, apartment 10, 12." And it's okay. So I have a trauma bag. I don't have a trauma. An ambulance is nowhere to be seen. Mm-hmm. So I have this trauma bag. I go up the stairs, and as I'm almost at the door, I think to myself, like, I'm solo. Usually you're not solo. But I'm like, I should have asked her if anybody else was home or if there were dogs in this apartment.
Yeah.
But I didn't, and I'm all the way up the stairs, and they're outside the door. Like, we're not in communicating distance. I cracked the door open. Should have knocked. Cracked the door open. I look across the living room, and I see a partially open bathroom with a body like face down in it. So I take a couple steps, beeline, to the bathroom, and out of nowhere, this fucking Saint Bernard dog comes out of the hallway.
God.
And we both, I'm walking, he's walking, we both stop. I see another dog out of the left. I don't really pay attention to that. My first thought is, fuck. My second thought is, who has a Saint Bernard? It's like Beethoven. It's gigantic.
Yeah, in an apartment.
I think that's my second thought. At first, I'm like, fuck. And then I'm thinking, and then all this is happening at the same time. I'm thinking, who has a Saint Bernard in their apartment? Like, this isn't real. And I could look at the dog's face, and he is not happy to see me at all.
Oh, my God.
So he starts barking.
You're not alone, you're not a small guy anyway.
No.
So, you're over 6 foot. And then plus you got, you got the bag, and you got, I'm sure, I don't know if you're, wearing your coat and stuff. So you already look bigger anyway.
Yeah, but I just have I have shorts on, my shirt.
So you're not in your gear at all.
The shirt say the fire department I'm at, and the thing with the shorts, but the dog can't read.
Right.
And then I have this big trauma bag on my back instead of a box to put in between us.
Okay.
So I throw my hands up, and I'm like, oh, whoa, buddy, and the dog starts barking really aggressively. So now it's not Beethoven; it turns into Cujo. I start backing up quickly. At first slow, then quickly. The other dog, I don't even see this dog really. Just out of the corner of my eye, I've been seeing it's small compared to this horse dog.
So you already know you can take care of that one.
One I wouldn't be as nervous. The Beethoven dog, which I'm not around a lot of Saint Bernards. They're fucking big, dude. They're such a big breed of animal. And I don't fuck with dogs to begin with, really. If I don't know a dog, we encounter tons of dogs on with being on fire. You know what I mean? People don't think about it. But dogs do not like you fucking around in their house. And when 4 men come in, they're like, what the fuck is this? And if their owner is down or some shit, and then they're trying to protect them, they don't like it, man. I've encountered dogs on fires. I had a dog almost knocked me over. I kicked the door to a trailer that was on fire. And this dog ran out. It was trying to run for his life, and he hit my leg and almost took my leg out.
Oh, my God.
He wasn't worried about me or anything. He just wanted out. He couldn't breathe. We've ran into aggressive dogs. Like, we'll see. I always pay attention to signs. They'll say, like, beware of dog. The drug houses, because we live in we work in an area that's pretty high poverty.
Mm-hmm.
So you have, like, drug dealers and stuff like that. So you always see that when there's cameras on the garage, cameras on the door, cameras on the back door, signs, beware of dog. I'm aware of dogs barking. And the first thing we say is, hey, you have a dog, put your dog away. In the projects, people have, like, Rottweilers, they have pit bulls, they have aggressive dogs, I think, for protection. Which is smart, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they don't think, oh, no, he's a nice dog. Like, hey, listen, probably he is. He's obviously nervous. Just put him in a room. If you want our help, you have to put him up. We're always aware of dogs. We've gone on calls with aggressive dogs that bit people. There's another story I can get into. I won't at this time, but it scared the shit out of me, man. I thought we were going to have to kill this dog with an axe. And we've saved dogs, too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We look for people, and then if you don't, we made a call. Me and my captain, Andy, the postman was bringing mail, saw this house was on fire. Called us. We go in. Nobody was home. We're searching the house. The engine company's getting a hydrant, putting a line up at the door while we're searching. And Andy's like, there's a fucking dog in this kitchen. He's barely conscious. We drag the fucking, nobody else, no people, but we get the dog out. And then we're like, that's important, man. You know what I mean? Like,
very much so. Yeah.
For that family, so both sides, dogs sometimes want us, most of the time they don't want us. They do not want you. So I get nervous about dogs on calls because dogs they're animals, man. They're fast, they're strong. They could do shit that we cannot do. I do not want to fight any dog ever, So anyway, I'm face to face. I back out. Right as I get out of the door, the dog tries to bite my hand. I pull my hand away. I close the door. At this time, my captain and the lady are running up the stairs. He's like, "Are you okay?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "There's fucking Cujo in there." And he said he was talking to the lady. He walked up. The other guys are still backing up the engine. And he's like, "Hey, when's the last time you saw him? What happened? Kind of deal. Are you okay?" And she said, "Oh, wait, hey, there's two dogs in there. They are not going to let him in that apartment." And he said as soon as he told her that, she told him that, they heard the barking. Oh. So they stopped and ran up the stairs, and I was just getting out of the apartment. So
thank God, man. Jesus, what is up with you and animals this year on the job?
I don't know, man.
Fucking alligators almost taken out by fucking dogs. Dude, that's crazy. I bet you would have seeing that big of a dog, because I couldn't even tell you the last time I saw a St. Bernard in person either. So
you don't see them, and I don't think they're an aggressive animal, but they're big, man. And like with people, I don't give a shit. Like if people have weapons and that's scary, and we look at hands and we try to get people to cut. We had somebody get tased 3 times yesterday and hit him with ketamine and put him to sleep. He was on heroin, meth, and Molly.
Holy shit.
Doesn't make any sense, but people do that. And this was in the morning. It was in the morning. So, but with people are unpredictable. They have weapons, but you could try to talk to people. You can say, hey, listen, look, we're here to help you, man. That wasn't our only aggressive. I mean, we get aggressive calls every day of people too drunk or overdose, or highly aggressive, but you could try to talk to them, and if you're in a fight, you can kind of gauge where you're at, and there's 4 of us. But if you walk into a room and there's a fucking boxer, that's a beast. It's not a human. It's tough. Like, you're not just punching it and it's going to give up. Like, it might fight to the death. You don't know, Some dogs are bred. Some dogs are bred to fight.
You also can't be seen on the news just taking a pickaxe to a dog.
No, absolutely not, man. That's not what I want to do. That's not what I want to do. So yeah, I'm always weary, and it scared me, dude. So like my adrenaline's off. So then the lady puts the dog in a room, locks both of the dogs up. We checked the guy. The guy was dead. He took heroin. It looked like heroin. It was like a soda can upside down. There was a needle next to it, and he had died sometime in the night. He was too dead for us to do CPR or anything, so we just called it. But that's just one of those shifts where the hanging guy, that guy, OD dead guy, a bunch of suicides, and then a bunch of other shit I don't even remember. This was like almost a month ago.
Yeah.
So it's like it was just one of those shifts where I'm like, and I fucked up. Like the way I saw it was, the lady just found her fucking fiance or whatever. I think it was her fiance dead in the bathroom or not breathing, cold. I'm sure dispatch was like, "Can you do CPR?" And she's like, "I don't fucking know."
Right.
She called us, went outside. She wasn't thinking about the dogs.
Yeah,
until,
as she shouldn't be. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right. So I should have said, "Hey, I'm going to go and check him. Is there anybody else in the apartment? Is there any dogs or anything I should be concerned about in the apartment?" And she would have said, "Oh, yeah, there's dogs." And then before I went in, I should have knocked on the door. Like, it's just dumb shit that
right.
It's 7:05 in the morning. Just started at 7. I'm not thinking about and complacent.
Yep.
You know? So
Probably
I'm like,
won't make that
I'm
mistake again for a while.
Never. Not for a while. Not for at least another set or so.
Yeah.
But
dude, that's crazy, man. What a fucking time you've had since last time we podcasted. I've just been like straight chilling.
Oh man, dude, we've been doing it, dude. 95-degree days, just fucking all sorts of shit. This rope rescue, I don't want to get into it because it would take a long time. But we had a guy fall off of a ravine.
Oh my!
Call 911. Somehow in a big park, somehow we found him. He was like 30 feet down, clinging on a branch, ready to drop like another 70 feet. It was probably a 100-foot drop. And he said he couldn't hang on much longer. So we're like, hey, we call a rope rescues. We call special ops, send 3 teams, a battalion chief, and yeah, it's crazy. We find hours later, we get him out. We set up rope rescue systems and mechanical advantages.
God damn, man. You
cut a
just
bunch
living
of
the
trees
dream
down.
out there, being a true goddamn American hero.
Fuck no, man. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying shit's been crazy, dude.
Yeah, you don't have to. The nasty say it for you.
Yeah.
Dude, that's fucking great, man. Well, it's been great catching up to you. I know it's a little bit longer episode than what we usually put out, which is great. So,
yeah.
You know, it's been a hot minute. Dude, I always come with the solid-ass stories and phenomenal. I'm definitely glad that your mom's doing great. And,
thanks, brother.
You didn't get bit by a goddamn dog. She's
oh my god,
dude!
And I don't get spooked too easily, but that and I just felt like a piece of shit because like I fucked up. It was me that fucked up. It wasn't
you had the thoughts going up, so then when you're like in that choice, you're like, fuck. That's got to be one of the few first thoughts is like I knew it. Either I had the feeling, I said it, I should have known better.
I should have known better, and that's the thing. Like, there's a potentially dying person in this room. Let's see if he's viable or not. If he's dead, he's dead. If he's workable, let's work him and try to save this dude's life. You push Narcan, it's incredible, man. For opioids. So that's what I'm thinking. But like I honestly, I'm like, oh shit, I should have asked her. I probably should have knocked on the door and. Just fucked up, man, and I could have got fucked up a little bit, but
you didn't. You're a goddamn hero.
Yeah.
Well, that's great, man. Yeah, I say we do our shout out and fuck yous, and then we can get up on out of here. Do you want me to go first? Do you want to go first?
I got a lot of shouts out, and I got just a couple fuck yous, man. So it's you go ahead, dude.
Okay. Well, I'm sure we'll probably have some crossover here. So for shouts out, definitely Volcanic Peppers. We brought them up earlier. They make the best hot sauce out there. So definitely shout out to them. Shout out to Mama Brown. Thank God again that she's safe and she made it out. Shouts out to Bella for sure. She's fucking just taking it into her own paws and getting the hell out of there. And then I have shouts out to Tower. He hasn't come up in a hot minute. That's great that we ran into him. So my fuck yous for Quarantine Call 8, I have Shitty Tequila. I know we're going to talk about it, but I would just think
next time.
There's like out of all the alcohols, if you take the shittiest version of that alcohol, I think Shitty Tequila is worse than like a shitty whiskey or a shitty vodka or anything like that. For
sure, dude. Shitty Tequila is the fucking absolute worst, man.
Yeah, for sure. And then I got 2 more, so I have fuck yous to apartment fires and then fuck you to the Rona, as always.
Oh man, that's good, dude. Like you can't go wrong there, man. That's good.
All right, you, my friend.
Okay, so my fuck yous are short, which that's uncommon. I think that's uncharacteristic. So my fuck yous are only the fires, and then bad dogs. I love dogs, so I wanted to make sure just the bad dogs I want to say fuck you to. My shouts out, you said a bunch of them already, but I still have a long list. I have Lionheart, Anthony Smith, who's fighting tonight, and also shouts out Danny Molina. Shouts out Tower. Shouts out George Lopez. We didn't get into it, but I just watched his stand-up special a while back. Mm-hmm. He's one of the greatest, man. He's great. I don't know if you checked that out.
I did. I was all right. I mean, you could tell he's been out of it for a while, but I still watched it and, respect because he is absolutely great. He did have some really good, jokes that made me,
God,
LOL and stuff that got a good laugh out of me. But overall, it was all right.
Yeah, I was worried he was going to get too serious because he gets serious sometimes, but he started off serious and then just got funny. Shouts out to Target, which is going to be my first, probably, and only time I give a shout out to Target, but when I'm literally for months dealing with this company that's like, oh, we're going to have a technician call you. Oh, we're going to have a supervisor call you. We can't just send you a new grill. Or, oh, we'll send you these new parts. And then Target's like, oh, that's fucked up. Yeah, send it in. It doesn't matter if it's 6 months after you're supposed to bring it in. We'll take care of you. We're not like that. But shouts out to them for sure. Shouts out to the Humane Society. Like I said before, they go above and beyond. They have, and we've been on calls with them quite a bit. We'll call them out on calls. And they're just amazing people that they don't get enough, and they don't get the recognition of police and fire, and they have a dangerous job at the same time. So shouts out to them. Shouts out to the Red Cross. A lot of those people are volunteers, and they come out in the middle of the night. They take care of the people who are affected by disasters, whether it's like a hurricane, tornado, a fire. And when we're on scene, they're like, oh, here, take a Gatorade, take a granola bar, drink water. Like, they're incredible people. And then shouts out to State Farm for doing what they're supposed to do. And that's it, brother. Shouts out to you, man.
Yeah, back at you as well, man. It's great to get on here again for you. At some point, we will definitely get back into BDC Studios. Got to see the new studio, so
fucking right.
Yeah, it'll be great. We'll definitely do another one of these sometime soon. I got some shit coming up that I'm doing. Talk about. I think it'll be fun, and you always got fucking crazy ass calls, and so I know I love hearing about them, and so I'm sure you'll have a plethora of them to talk about next time. So you guys follow us on all the socials, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, at Nasty and Friends. Also send in questions. We'll answer anything that you want. Ask any type of advice. That's at Nasty and Friends at gmail.com. And just remember, life is simple. Don't be a dick. Thanks, Lutz.
Motherfucker, yeah.